Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Romer Chavez, and for today's video, let's talk about the safety in the industry. Every day, every hour, every minute, and every seconds, safety starts with all of us. When it comes to safety, we are all have a part to play, and we are all responsible. So let's talk about its goal. The goal of this safety in the industry is to build awareness on the importance of safety in the industry. Next, we have the basic safety knowledge for the engineers. So now, let's enumerate the benefits of safety in the business. First, we have the good morale of employees, the less insurance cost, improved productivity, less absenteeism, build reputation of the industry, and prerequisite for qualifying in tender. So, why do we need to practice safety? It's because of the moral, the economic, and the legalization. So why do we need to establish safety? It's because of employees' attitude and behavior. We have the training, rewarding, motivation, providing them appropriate tools and equipment, and a plan for a job to complete it safely. So we have here an equation how to measure the safety in the industry. We have here the safe man hours without lost time accident, or simply the LTA, equal to the number of employees times the number of working hours they work safely. If any LTA occurs, the safe man hours is reset to 0. We can see this data. The first thing we enter to some industries, which is stating the number of working days that they perform without any accident with that specific firm. Now, we will discuss the common words used when we talk about safety. We have the hazard, potential to cause harm to people and equipment. Next, we have the risk, the likelihood of such occurring. Next one, we have the risk assessment. Risk in executing job is assessed before any job is started. And lastly, we have the control measures, the precautions taken for doing a job safely based on risk assessment. Next, we have the type of hazard. We have the physical, electrical, mechanical, and the chemical. Now let's discuss the type of hazard that we will get in the construction industry. So we have the fall of materials from the height, fall of men from the height, we have a cave-in, failure of cranes and escalator, manual handling or the back injury, and we have the skin allergy or occupation disease. We also have the type of hazard in process industry. We have the physical hazard such as trip, slip, and fall, fire hazard, chemical hazard, electrical hazard, and the mechanical hazard. Next, we have the reclassification of safety hazard. We have the equipment and job related, the tools related, and the area related. The next discussion will be the risk study. We have to consider an activity to be assessed, breaking down into small steps, identify the hazard, analyze the effect of hazard, study how people may be affected, and apply appropriate control measures. We also consider the probability, which includes the frequent, the probable, occasional, remote, and improbable. Now, let's discuss the severity, the type of severity. The first one, we have the catastrophic, which states the death or system loss or damage. Next, we have the critical, which state the severe injury and occupational illness and severe system damage. The third one, we have the marginal, which state the minor injury and occupational illness and have a minor system damage. Lastly, we have the negligible, which less than a minor injury or and minor system damage. We have here another equation which identify the risk rating. The risk rating is equal to probability times severity. And now let's discuss the different method of risk assessment. We have the first one, the hazard and operability studies, or also known as HAZOP, hazard identification or HAZID, the hazard analysis or HAZAN. Next, we have the preliminary hazard analysis or PHA, the fault tree analysis or FTA, and lastly, we have the failure mode and effect analysis. We have the FMEA. And next, we have the stages of hazard analysis. First, we have to get to know the design phase, the construction, procurement, installation stage, the integration, test, and check out of phase. Now, let's discuss the control of safety hazard. The first thing to do is the elimination, second, the substitution, the isolation, the controls, which cares about the administrative and engineering, and lastly, we have the usage of personal protective equipment or the PPE. And now, let's discuss the OSAS 18001. The OSAS 18001 is abbreviated as Occupational Health and Safety Assessment Series, which is an international safety management system originated from British Standards Institution or BSI. It is a call for management commitment to safety. This slide contains the OSAS 18001 elements. We have the safety policy, the safety procedures, the implementation and management, the safety audits, the corrective and preventive actions, and lastly, we have the management and reviews. The next video will tell us some information regarding the safety in the industry.
People cause accidents. To be more exact, people not paying attention or doing something that they shouldn't be doing causes accidents. To put it another way, accidents result from varying degrees of carelessness, sloppiness, negligence, inattention, neglect, and ignorance. Accidents also happen where two things are found: unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. Unsafe conditions occur when there is a failure to identify, control, remediate, or train properly against a hazard. Even though there can be multiple human causes, accident investigations will always identify the human failure to correct the hazard. Some unsafe conditions are easy to spot. Finding others needs a closer inspection. For example, liquid on a walking surface is an unsafe condition, but you won't see it if you aren't looking where you are stepping. People create the majority of unsafe conditions. Mother Nature can create conditions, but she gives us plenty of warning signs. If it's cold and wet, or raining or snowing, we should be aware of walking hazards. No matter what nature is up to, we can be aware of it and guard against it. However, unsafe conditions created by people are often harder to find. Overloaded circuits, unguarded machinery, unchained cylinders, altered safeties, blocked fire extinguishers, blocked exits, curled up edges of mats or carpets, spills, poor lighting, unsanitary conditions, speeding, damaged tools, and inappropriately stored chemicals like solvents and gasoline, and poor housekeeping are all examples of unsafe conditions created by people. If you see an unsafe condition and ignore it, you just made it more likely that someone will fall victim, perhaps even yourself. Unsafe acts create unsafe conditions. Unsafe acts are things like failing to properly do a job, failing to see hazards, or taking unneeded risks. For example, speeding up to make the yellow light, using tools in wrong ways or using damaged or defective tools, not using proper personal protective equipment, ignoring the safety data sheet for chemicals you are using, or deliberately violating safety rules and procedures. How many unsafe acts can you spot today? Which ones are you doing? The worst kind of unsafe act is deliberately creating an unsafe condition. Have you done anything to make the job more risky for you or for others? Although it is difficult to foresee every condition or potential hazard, it's hard to find an accident that could not have been prevented. The person injured may not have caused the conditions that caused the injury, but something they did or something another person did directly led to the incident. The facts from accident investigations are revealing. 99.5% of accidents are caused by people's behaviors. Some don't do it deliberately. Some don't do it because they just did something stupid. Others cause accidents because they think they can do it without getting hurt, or they don't think about the consequences of their actions. Some are in a hurry. They allow themselves to become distracted and are not paying attention. One thing to remember, you can make the same mistake many times without anything bad happening. I always did it this way and nothing ever happened until today. Over time, you come to believe that some unsafe conditions or acts are okay because you have no evidence to the contrary. Whatever we do, our job is to identify as many errors as we can and correct them through education, process changes, equipment modifications, or any other way needed to ensure that we all go home safe at the end of each day. Thanks for watching and have a safe day.
At the end of the day, safety starts with me. Each one of us can make a difference. It's all about us doing the right thing. So that's it for today. That ends my presentation. Thank you for watching. Bye!